What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of The Mind of Maze. I'm your host, Melon Maze Miranda, and welcome to episode 5. All right. So we talking about, well, before we even get into that, I want to just say this. Please, when you come in here and you're watching, if you're taking the time to watch me, please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Again, right there. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. I appreciate it. All right. So, right now we talking about the fall of Diddy, y'all. I never thought I'd be making a video about this. Never in a million years did I think I'd make a video about this. So, Diddy is on trial right now, facing RICO, racketeering, just all sorts of crazy stuff, allegations coming out about this guy. You know, the funny thing about it is growing up, middle school, high school, I was a super duper huge fan of Diddy. I talk about it in the last couple of videos. He inspired a lot for me, like as far as like fashion sense goes. Like when Diddy came out with Shawn John, I think that was back in like 97, 98, 99, around that time period. I mean, that's literally all I would wear, y'all. That's all I would wear. I would just wear Shawn John, man. It was so crazy that everybody used to call me Shawn John, like as a nickname, because that's how much I would wear Shawn John. Everything had it written on it. You know what I mean? He inspired me tremendously. I mean, that whole, especially if you lived in New York at that time, nobody could say they was not a fan of. Back then, he went by Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody called him Puff, but Puff was like the man in New York City. I mean, he could have ran for mayor back then. Like, that's how big he was. You know what I mean? Bad Boy Records ran hip hop. And he basically took off when, after Biggie got murdered. Puff and Mace were like, they just ruled hip hop. And I was just so inspired by just that whole bad boy movement. Everything that Puff did, everything he touched went platinum or like triple platinum, everything. And this guy, he had the girls, he had the Benzes, he had the money. There was just nothing that guy didn't have. So, I was just watching him as a young kid, man. And I was just like, man, that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. When I say that, this is what I want to do, right? Puff is not a rapper who went platinum. So imagine that. This guy is not a rapper. He doesn't rap. You know what I mean? He said it several times. A lot of people in that camp have said it several times that Biggie came up to him and told him, yo, you should rap. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you love music. You should rap. Oh, I don't know how to rap. Yo, it's easy, man. I'll teach you how to rap. And then boom, like that. You know what I'm saying? Big gave him records, wrote rhymes for him and shit. And then, you got All About the Benjamins. You got Can't Nobody Take Me Down, Lose My Pride, whatever the shit was called. Been Around the World. And these were all penned, by the Locks, by Big, by Mace. But Puff blew up off of all those records, you know what I mean? And he became a superstar. And to see where he's at today, man, I don't even know what to make out of all these different allegations coming out about him and all that. Okay, so, what is y'all stance on this whole Diddy trial going on? Do you guys think that he's innocent, or do you guys think he's guilty? Me, as far as everything that went on with Cassie and everything, we saw that. So it's he's openly admitted to that. So, beating that girl the way he did, and he had to have been high as a kite, or and whatever the situation was, there's just never no excuse to put your hands on a woman. You know what I mean? It's just never no excuse to do that. Um, people make mistakes, they lose their cool, do shit that they regret. Of course, we do all the time. We're humans. We're flawed human beings. We all make mistakes. Um, but yeah, that video that came out on CNN, that was like the nail in the coffin for Diddy, man. Uh, I knew it was over for him when that happened, especially when they showed on the news that the feds had came to his crib and everything, and when the feds come knocking, man, that shit is a wrap. It's over. Uh, I mean, unless you got Johnny Cochran or something like that, but other than that, I mean, man, it is over. When the feds come knocking at your door, it's fucking over, man. Uh, they have a 95 conviction success rate. Yeah, it's pretty much to me. I think that Diddy's finished. You know what I mean? If somehow Diddy can walk away from this, though, will his career ever be the same? Nobody's gonna want to work with him. You know what I mean? It's gonna, I hope the guy was saving his money. You know what I mean? But it's a damn shame to see. The guy had Ciroc, Shawn John, Bad Boy Records. I mean, this guy just had the world at his fingertips, and he fucking blew it. I mean, just like that. Like I spoke about it in one of my other episodes. God giveth, God taketh away, and a lot of times you see this with big celebrities such as Puff. The higher up they get, the more money they make, the more power that they get, and they just abuse it. Maybe subconsciously, not even realizing that they are. And again, I'm not saying that Puff is innocent. I'm not saying that he's guilty. He's in court right now, and we'll all find out when it's over. You know what I mean? But there's definitely an abuse of power there. Definitely. I mean, the guy could have anything he wants, so he tells Cassie, do this, do that. Tells this chick, go get this person, go get that person, do this. Money, when you got money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And money makes people lose their fucking mind. They just go crazy. They just start, it's too much power. What Ye saying? That's no one man should have all that power, and that's just how it is. And you see it with a lot of these people. Also, like for example, Vince McMahon, which we'll do that in another episode. We'll get to him, but I believe the same thing with him. A very powerful man. These guys are all billionaires. Very powerful men. They're not used to people telling them no. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tells them no. And if you tell them no, what happens? You up out of there. They're going to fire your ass. You up out of there. And so people, they got families. They got mouths to feed, man. So they don't want to lose their job. So even when they know that they're doing something wrong or something illegal, or going against their actual beliefs, like they know they shouldn't be doing it, and they do it anyways, because they view it as what are we gonna do? We're gonna tell this man no, and then I have no job. I'm back looking for a gig, and that's how they look at it. For me personally, I'm not gonna do something that goes against my moral beliefs just for this job. Like, there's plenty of jobs out there. I just go somewhere else. But in that particular field, and a lot of these women that worked for him were saying that he'll blackball you. Like there is no going nowhere else, because he was that high. He's that high. Like you tell Diddy, nah, I'm not doing that. Okay, you're fired. And I'm going to make sure that you don't work in this field ever again. I'll make sure of it. And he had, those type of connections because he'd been in the game for so long. He's made so many powerful connections with people that he could do that. He could make sure that you never work in Hollywood again. Or so they say. So, again, it's a damn shame to see what what the guy's going through. And when I say a damn shame of what he's going through, not, like I feel sorry for him or I feel bad for him. Because, if he did it, he did it. Then, what they say, if Diddy did it, he did it. And if he's going to end up in prison, um, you know, that, that's unfortunate. But, for the things that, all these allegations coming out about this, like millions, there's even like a hotline now, call if Diddy did something to you, you know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous to me. Do I believe that he did this to all these women putting lawsuits out against him? False. I do not believe that at all. If it's women that, were close to him, like, okay, for example, do I believe the Cassie stuff? Oh, I'm on the fence with that. I do believe that he was abusing Cassie. I do believe that he groomed Cassie because she was a young girl, and he's an older guy at the time, and here's a young lady who's wanting to come into the music business, and he's probably telling her that he can make her the next Jennifer Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Because you saw what he did for J-Lo's career. People don't give him enough props for that, but Puff made J-Lo J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer Lopez was a star already before she met Puff. But musically, nah, Puff did that for her. Puff even gave her the name J-Lo. You know what I mean? So here you have a young Cassie who's an aspiring singer, and Puff being one or if not the biggest music exec at that time, tells her that I want to sign you to Bad Boy, and I'm gonna make you a star. And you've seen him do it with so many others. So I don't blame Cassie for, getting involved with him. You know what I'm saying? I think she should have kept it professional, of course. But, she fell in love with the guy, and things took a turn for the worse. You know what I mean? But, I don't blame her for taking that leap of faith, because you've seen what Puff has done with so many people. He can turn you into a star. All you got to do is, do what he needs you to do. I don't think she knew she was signing up for that. However, though, there's a flip side to that coin. Puffy never held a gun to your head and made you do those things. These freak offs that we're hearing about, some nasty shit, man. Like, god damn, some nasty shit that I've been hearing. But look, Puff didn't make you do that. There's texts from Cassie, saying that she wants to have a freak off, and that she was participating with these things. And I believe at one point she was enjoying herself, and she was down for everything. When it took a turn, maybe at one point she just said, I've had enough, because you got to sit back and think. Eventually, she's got to say to herself, like, my career is going nowhere, and I'm fucking this guy like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing all this shit for this guy, and my career is going nowhere. What am I doing? As far as I know, Cassie only had like one major hit, and that was that Me and You. And then Puff made like the remix and all that stuff to it. You know what I mean? So that's that's a tricky thing, because I do believe Cassie. Do I 100% believe her that, this guy just took advantage of her, took her for a ride the whole time? No, I do not believe that. I believe that she was a willing participant in these freak offs. She wasn't like a slave to this guy. You know what I mean? I think that she was enjoying herself till up to a certain point. When that changed, I don't know. Only she could speak for that. So, which all that's going to come out some more. But, yeah, but also, do I think that Puff took advantage of this young lady? Of course he did. I mean, the age difference is crazy right there, and she was nobody in the music world, and he was up here, she was down here. She believes this man could take her to new heights, and I'm sure he promised her the world. I'm sure. And then, for whatever reason, Puff just didn't end up doing, what he promised her for, I guess. Again, I don't know. What I can say is this, I'm going to tell y'all a little story. When I was a teenager or whatever, I believe, yeah, I was a, teenager at the time. And, my brother, a few years older than me, you know, he used to, tease me a lot when we were kids, when we were younger, because, we shared a room for many years together, right? And on my brother's side of the room, he'd have pictures of like, half naked women, swimsuit models, all that stuff, right? And then on my side of the room, there was pictures of dudes on the wall. Pause. He would always tease me. He'd be like, man, why you ain't got no women on the wall? Why you got all these dudes up on the wall? You know what I'm saying? And for me though, it was because I was putting people on the wall that I was inspired by, like that I looked up to, like those people motivated me. You know what I mean? And that was my reason for having the dudes on the wall, so to speak, But I say that to say this, because one of the guys on the wall was Puff. You know what I'm saying? It was like a Shawn John ad or something like that. And yeah, and that was on my wall. And I never aspired to be a rapper or anything like that. I didn't know what I wanted to be. Well, look. What I wanted to be when I was that age was a basketball player. Too short, but I was nice. I was always nice. Ask anybody who seen me play, man. I was nice, but I was too short. So, I wasn't going nowhere with that. But yeah, so I didn't know what I wanted to be outside of a ball player, but I knew I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to do something big, something just, not normal, not I don't want to be no average dude. And again, seeing Puff just inspired the fuck out of me, man, with the the music, with the clothes, with the women, with the Benzes. You know what I'm saying? I got my first Benz because of that dude. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the main reasons why I wanted a Benz. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was a lot of people that inspired me to want to get, nice things, flashy, luxurious things. But Puff was one of the biggest ones, man. Puff, driving the Benzes. I was like, yo, and all the hustlers, everybody, that was doing it was driving a Benz. So I was like, yo, I'm getting me a Mercedes, bro. And fortunately for me, I've already had two. So that's pretty cool. But again, Puff inspired all that. Even the cologne. I still wear Shawn John to this very day. I got Shawn John clothing, watches. What else? His cologne, Unforgivable, I'm King. Just all that stuff. I still, am inspired by Puff. But to see where he's at today, if you would have told me that he was going to be in this situation back then, I would have never believed you. I'd be like, hell nah, not Puff. They ain't locking up Puff. How they gonna lock? They gonna lock up Diddy, Puff Daddy? And then he just got the key to the city. Eric Adams had to take that back. And I heard that a lot of this started from forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name, Diageo or something like that, who are the owners of Ciroc. And apparently, he was in a lawsuit or a disagreement with them where, he wanted, I guess, to buy Ciroc solely, or DeLeon, the tequila brand he also has. And apparently, it's being said that they, he tried to bite the hand that feeds them, and the hand that feeds him, and they had to spank that ass, pause. But and that's why he's in this situation right now, is what is being said as well. Again, I don't know. I'm just giving you guys, when I say the fall of Diddy, I'm not so much giving you what you guys are already seeing. You guys are seeing it. Everybody's reporting about this. I just personally wanted to give you, my perspective on the situation, and give you that little backstory and how that man inspired the hell out of me. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, man. We gonna just leave it like that. So I want to know y'all's opinion. Do you guys think Puff is innocent, or do you think he's guilty? Um, what that man does behind closed doors is his business. What they've exposed so far, to me at least, is that Puff is a fucking freak. Like Diddy is a nasty motherfucker, but that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's been rumors for years that Puff was a little on the fence with certain things. Like in 50, one of my favorite rappers. And I've also met the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like 50's been clowning Puff his whole career, basically saying Puff was gay and all this stuff like that. Who knows? I mean, now it's coming out that apparently everything that 50 was saying about this nigga, a lot of it's coming out to be true, I guess. You know what I mean? But again, allegedly, because we'll see. I don't know. Then I heard the Kid Cudi thing where he bombed this nigga, had people bomb this nigga's car allegedly. It's a lot of crazy stuff coming out. But Puff's already been locked up. Like 8 months, maybe something like that. And that's just crazy. They won't even give this nigga a bail. They really want him bad, because I've never seen that where someone can't even get a bail. They can't get out till the trial starts. They wanted his ass sitting in there until the trial. And I think personally that this whole thing, had Puff just took care of Cassie in the way that she wanted real early on, he probably would not be in this situation right now. But he paid her fast, man. Like that. If I know I'm innocent, I ain't paying you shit. We take this as far as we need to take it. I will fight you till the very end if I know that I'm innocent. But if I know I'm guilty, yeah, Puff paid her like that. So it's crazy to me too, the fact that she can testify at his trial. Like, he paid her out early, and I'm sure that I would think that he put a gag order in there or something, or that she can't speak on him or anything that he that passed or anything like that no more after he paid her. Apparently not, because she's testifying at his trial right now, and that's crazy. I didn't even think that was some legal shit, man. But again, crazy, man. This is some crazy shit, man. My heart breaks, for his children, because they're having ultimately his children are having to hear all this stuff, about their father. And that's just horrible, man. That especially for his daughters, especially, they have to hear this stuff about their dad violating women and men and all this crazy stuff like that. That's just man, my heart breaks for his children, man. That's really the most. That really sucks for them, man. And how about Cassie's husband having to sit in court and hearing all this freaky shit that she was doing? Because I'm sure she probably told him a lot of this stuff. I don't know if she told him this stuff in graphic detail the way that they're delivering it in court. So let's see how that marriage lasts after all this. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff coming out. How about the Ryan Leslie thing? I remember a few years ago, my brother put me onto that Ryan Leslie had made that record, how it was supposed to be, and that was about Cassie. How Diddy took Cassie from Ryan Leslie, and and then you hear about the Kim Porter stuff. They're trying to say that Puff might have had involvement in the death of his kid's mother, which just horrible shit, and it just keeps snowballing. Also, that Puff probably had something to do with the murder of Tupac Shakur, which is that's something we've been hearing for years as well too. But man, it just keeps snowballing, and it's like you know, whew, it's a lot to take in, man. That was a childhood, you know, childhood inspiration of mine, and still in many ways is, aside from what's going on with this. But yeah, man, it's terrible, man. So I don't know, man. Y'all give me y'all thoughts, man. Y'all let me know, man. What y'all think's going on with this Diddy trial? Again, do you think he's innocent? Do you think he's guilty? Do you feel like that man should have got a bail? Isn't that his right? Do you guys feel like Cassie is lying on this man? Like she's trying to end this nigga. You know what I mean? And also another thing, a lot of people are saying that it's Cassie's husband allegedly that is the one who told her that she needs to file a lawsuit and get some bread up out of Puff. So, you know, and then you got what the Dante Kane girls that are also saying some, you know, alleging some things about him. You know, it's hard, man. It's hard to say, you know, oh, this guy's innocent, because, you know, there's so many people saying the same thing about him. You know, if you got one or two people saying, oh, he did this, you know, they could be like, ah, that's bullshit. When you got this many people saying the same things, you know, but, you know, they say a lot of it is, you know, it's a money grab. They see that, you know, he got bread fast out of Cassie. So now it's like, yo, let me see what I can get up out of this dude. You know what I mean? So again, I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I'm 50-50. You know, I do believe that he's guilty of the Cassie things, but you know, I don't believe that it was all just him making her do these things. You know, I believe that she was involved just as much as he was. You know, you know. Oh, how about the one guy who shot up one of Trump's spots, and he was saying he was a sex worker. And then another thing, whatever happened to the mule? That's going to be interesting when they put him on the stand. What he's going to say? That's going to be interesting too. Yeah, man, but there's a lot still to uncover and unpack, and I'm sure I'll double back and well, I'll do another Diddy video too. But yeah, I want y'all thoughts, man. You guys think he's innocent? You guys think he's guilty? You guys think he's going away for life? Do you guys think he's gonna beat this shit? You know, I'd love to hear y'all's opinion, man, because like I said, Puff was that dude, man, and don't y'all act like Puff wasn't that dude to y'all, especially you niggas that are watching me right now. Y'all niggas are from New York. Y'all know that Puff ran the city. Puff was that dude, man. All right, so yeah, that's it, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with this though. We all got the same 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with yours? Ask yourself, what are you doing with yours? And do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let me tell y'all something, man. It's free. It's free to hit that like button. It's free to hit that subscribe button. It's free to comment. It's free to share. So why not? If you are actually sitting there watching me right now, hit that subscribe button. Why not? It's free. It's free to show love, people. It's free. So why not? I mean, if you're going to watch it, if you're going to watch the video, you should like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know, it costs you nothing. It's free. You know what I mean? It's just showing love. So, yeah, man. Do that. Do that. Definitely. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Do all of that. Please. I appreciate y'all, man. And, you know, we just keep the videos coming. This is episode 5, you know, the fall of Diddy. And it's a damn shame. It's crazy to see what happened to him, man. But we'll see. We'll see how it all unfolds. All right? All right. Again, think about this. I want you all to think about this. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Always, every day, ask yourself, what are you doing with yours? We out.